You guys ready for this? So apparently, Kamala Harris is at the border and she's giving a speech in Arizona right now. And boy, oh boy, do we have to go through this photo op, failed photo op, but big reports coming out today of the real numbers at the border, the real numbers of criminals that have crossed over. And this is not looking good. It's looking so bad that millions and millions of Americans are really pissed at Kamala Harris. But I want you to listen to this. I want you to listen to how crazy she sounds on stage right now. So make sure to smash the like button. Hope you guys missed me. I took a day off yesterday. We're back. And let me know where you guys are watching from. Here we go. Just take a listen to this.
And as president, I will work with Congress to create, at long last, a pathway to citizenship for hardworking immigrants who have been here for years. For years. And deserve to have a system that works. I also have in mind our dreamers. I have met.
So, who do you think the dreamers are?
I have met with so many of our dreamers throughout my career. They who have grown up in the United States, were educated here, pay taxes here, serve in our military, and contribute to our communities every day. They are American in every way. But still, they do not have an earned pathway to citizenship. And
there's more. There's more. We're starting off the show with more. This is happening right now.
To reduce illegal border crossings, I will take further action to keep the border closed between ports of entry. Those who cross our borders unlawfully will be.
Yo, is she serious? You see what? Yo, this is crazy. Crazy. Are you listening to this? A person that has been in office, who has been the vice president, the second most powerful person in the United States of American politics. This is the promises she's making now, not the promises she was making in 2020. Why? One more time.
To reduce illegal border crossings, I will take further action to keep the border closed between ports of entry. Those who cross our borders unlawfully will be apprehended and removed and barred from re-entering for 5 years. We will pursue more severe.
What? Yo. I think Trump sent her a MAGA hat. Do you hear this, guys? Are you guys listening to this? You guys listening to this? This is what politics pisses people off. This is what politics is. She was literally the biggest problem of why we had so many illegal border crossings to begin with. She was the border czar. Now she wants to literally tell you, because it's election season, that I'm changing my ways. And millions of people are just going to believe it.
Here, criminal charges against repeat violators. And if someone does not make an asylum request at a legal point of entry and instead crosses our border unlawfully, they will be barred from receiving asylum. While we understand that many people are desperate to migrate to the United States, our system must be orderly and secure. And that is my goal.
That is unbelievable. I really can't believe it, but it's so crazy too. Somebody that probably doesn't watch politics, they'll think that sounds great, but bro, she's been in office this whole time. She is one of the main reasons why we are in the deep stuff that we're in now. And now she wants to be hard on. This is crazy. This is what politics is, though. This is the true definition of a politician. All right. So here's the photo op.
Stay off the concrete, back over here. Off the concrete, back over here, please. Stay off the concrete over there, back over here.
There's all the photos being taken, of course, and that's just the way it is. But by the way, today it just came out. New ICE report reveals the Biden-Harris administration has left in $425 400,000 illegal immigrants who are convicted criminals. That is enough people to fill Michigan's football stadium 4 times. The report says the following illegals are roaming the country, quote unquote: 13,000 murderers, 15,000, you know what this word stands for right there, 425,000 convicted criminals. And I quote, essentially, what that is, it means that migrants who were encountered by DHS but are no longer in federal custody, they're just roaming around the United States under the watch of Kamala Harris and President Joe Biden. It's illegal immigrants who are caught and released at the border, released with court date years away. There, let's just go to the report, because this is what I'm telling you. It's like this is happening under her watch, under their watch, and now here she is switching tone and switching her whole messaging, talking about she's going to be hard on all these people. Once again, it just proves how Trump is right about this issue that they try to demonize him for.
Yeah, and Sandra, bear with me. We just got these numbers moments ago, but it's a jaw dropper to say the least. So to set the stage here, let me just explain what these numbers mean. ICE has something called a non-detained docket. Essentially what that is it means migrants who were encountered by DHS but are no longer in federal custody. So who's on this non-detained docket? It's illegal immigrants who were caught and released at the border, released with the court date years away. They're in immigration proceedings, combined with illegal immigrants who have already been ordered, deported from the country by a judge, but are still here roaming the country. So
you guys get it. You guys get the point of this. You get this whole scenario. Now let's go to Jesse Waters real quick.
Fox News alert. Kamala Harris is about to speak near the border. We'll take you there live when it happens. That was Kamala Harris, coming out and basically saying, I'm a big border hawk. She had her nice jacket on. This is her big border security speech she's about to give. She just let in 10 million illegals. Half of them were convicted criminals. That means about 5% of the Biden-Harris migrants are ex-cons. And Biden-Harris have no idea where they are. They let in 13,000 convicted murderers and lost track of them. They let in 15,000 convicted rapists, and now they're gone. I always assumed when an illegal was caught by Border Patrol and they did a background check and they found out the guy was a convicted murderer, they'd immediately detain them and deport them. But no, I had no idea Biden and Harris were catching convicted killers and letting them loose into the country. Oh, you murdered your brother? Here's a court date in 5 years and for your asylum hearing. Take this free phone, get on that plane. I hope you like New York. Oh, you raped a kid? Here's a free sandwich, a free sex change, and a bus ticket to Houston. These people aren't seeking asylum. We should be seeking asylum from them. Trump says, I told you so.
Some egghead maybe said, oh, it's wonderful to release people, and it sounds so nice. We're releasing migrants into our country, but these are killers. These are people at the highest level of killing that cut your throat, and they won't even think about it the next morning.
Watch this. So remember how they try to demonize Trump for saying things like that? Oh, like Trump is a xenophobic, he's bad, he's a bad man. But if you listen to Kamala Harris today as she's campaigning at the border, listen to Kamala. What's the difference between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump today?
To reduce illegal border crossings, I will take further action to keep the border closed between ports of entry. Those who cross our borders unlawfully will be apprehended and removed and barred from re-entering for 5 years.
Wow. Told you guys. She's trying to run as Trump. She just wants to make it sound nicer. She knows that Trump is the sell. Trump is the ticket. Trump is the guy, the right guy. But she wants to sound nicer. And we know damn well you've been in office this whole time. We know you're not going to do it. You didn't do it this whole time. You called Trump a bad person for the same thing you're doing now. The same thing Trump's been saying since 2016, you are now saying today. But the media made you believe that Trump was the evil, bad man. Let's lock him up. He's bad. He's a racist. all these different things. But if you listen to Kamala Harris today at the border, she sounds exactly like 2016 Donald Trump. She just wants to make it sound nicer. She got different words for what Trump would call an illegal. She would say newcomers or dreamers or all these. You know what I mean, guys? You see where I'm going with this? I hope you do, because this is pretty insane. It is pretty crazy.
These are convicted people for life are now in our country, and I can finally look at them and see, I say, I told you so to the fake news. What Kamala Harris has done is unforgivable. It's a crime what she did. It's got to be criminal. There's no greater act of disloyalty than to extinguish the sovereignty of your own nation, and that's what she's done. She's ruined our nation. She's ruined our nation.
And the media called Trump a liar for saying countries were emptying their prisons. Well, where do you think 500,000 ex-cons came from? The gym? The fact that they impeached him over a phone call while Biden and Harris are processing rapists and murderers into the country. How is that not high crimes and misdemeanors? So along with the 300,000 migrant kids they lost, Biden and Harris lost tens of thousands of migrant killers and rapists, and the whole time they said the border was secure.
The border is secure.
You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
Democrats say Trump's dangerous. How? Because Kamala Harris is importing convicted murderers and rapists into America and then lying about it. She's the most dangerous presidential nominee in the history of American politics. She's created a geyser of sex trafficking, crime, addiction that'll impact America for decades. And she never went to the border once, but decided to go today of all days, a month before the election. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the election. Kamala is in the Tucson sector of Arizona tonight, the epicenter of her crisis. Look at how Biden and Harris blew open the border in Tucson after it was under control. And now she's there for a photo op on the eve of the election. And look how staged this border visit is. This wasn't about her seeing anything with her own eyes or learning the truth about illegal immigration. This was about getting the right shot of her walking along the border wall with Border Patrol agents. We can show that. A wall she said she doesn't even believe in. Border Patrol agents who she falsely accused of whipping. Remember? She said they were whipping Haitians. Now, no one else will show you these scenes we're showing you. But what you're looking at is a frenzy of Harris staffers wrangling photographers to get the perfect picture as fast as possible so they can all get the hell out of there and just say they visited the border. Kamala was only actually at the border from 6:11 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., less than 20 minutes. That's not visiting the border. That's just a photo op. The cameras weren't even allowed to get the audio of her walk and talk with the agents, so we have no idea what was discussed. She never even addressed the press. It was like she walked the runway and went backstage. She was just there to show off her border outfit. And before her big border security speech, which we've been waiting for 4 years, they had a wacky woman warming up the crowd. Watch.
I came all the way from California, heard of, woo! That's right. That's right. Let me hear it. She's driving in any minute now, and I want her to hear you in the car. So what do we say? Kamala, 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 Kamala. Hit your feet, on your feet.
Oh my God. I took a break yesterday because I've been like, it's too much. Politics has become too much. I've been trying to get away from it because of shit like this. Bro, what is happening?
Kamala, 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 Kamala. Hit your feet, on your feet.
This is supposed to be a deadly serious policy speech. And they have a warm-up act telling the audience how to clap, like Gutfeld exclamation. Kamala is blaming Trump for the problem she created and telling you everything she wants to do to fix it, but never did when she had the chance. She says it's time for a strong border. Well, why hasn't she done it? She stopped Trump's border wall and then sold the extra steel for scrap. She ended Remain in Mexico. She brought back catch and release and has deported less than 1% of the illegals she let in. Less than 1%. If she wants to stop illegal immigration, she should stop flying them into the country. She claims the border crossing numbers are down. She's just not counting the migrants she's flying here and sending to the ports of entry so they can break into the country with their border app. Remember the one you make a reservation to break into the country with? Open table for illegals, as we call it. And what's the point of asking for more Border Patrol agents if they're just going to keep catching and releasing people? Fentanyl has exploded under Kamala's watch. Why hasn't she done anything about it? How can all of this be Trump's fault if he's not in power? But she is. He doesn't have the power to do anything about the border. She does. Kamala keeps saying she prosecuted drug cartels in California. Then why didn't she do anything as vice president? The cartels quadrupled their cash flow under Harris. They're the only ones who have wages going up. If Kamala Harris really wanted to secure the border, she would have called the Border Patrol chief and made a plan.
I've never had one conversation with the president or the vice president for that matter. And so I was the chief of the Border Patrol. I commanded 21,000 people. That's a problem.
Think about how backwards all of this is. The border czar brings 500,000 criminals into the country and thinks it's mean to deport them. She thinks it's cruel to deport criminals. She's actually promising mass amnesty instead of mass deportations, when the majority of the country wants mass deportations. Everyone in America knows better.
She's trying to make the case that, you know, she has been tough on the border as a prosecutor in California. What do you make of that? What do you make of that?
It's lies.
What do you make of Democrats trying to argue that they are tough on the border?
It's political rhetoric that's an absolute lie.
The Border Patrol is calling Kamala's visit tonight nothing more than a check the box and slap in the face to the American public. They're asking, where's she been? Kamala went to Europe before she went to the border. She deserted the people of Arizona. If the election was held today, Kamala Harris would lose Arizona. The last 3 polls out of Arizona, Donald Trump's beating her soundly. She knowingly put Americans' lives in danger for political power. Mass migration would lead to mass amnesty, which would lead to a massive amount of new Democrat voters and congressional power. Americans have died and will continue to die because of this reckless political gamble. Kamala Harris has blood on her hands. And I know the American people will never, ever elect someone like that as president of the United States.
That was, I played the whole thing because I thought I figured why not play the whole thing, but that was pretty insane. Like you had the numbers come out today, the same day that the numbers came out. It's the same day that she basically, you know, had to go to the border for this photo op. You know, they got to make it seem like, hey, we got to make it seem like, you know, just what it is. You guys smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everybody coming through. I will be going live again. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. You know, she's now hard on the border, I guess, trying to be hard on the border. I mean, have you looked at New York? Have you looked around the country? It's just like that California. Remember California when Xi Jinping was coming in? And all of a sudden, like in California, there was like no homeless people in the streets. The streets were clean. Everything was turned upside down. California, certain parts of it, I think it was San Francisco to be exact. You looked at San Francisco, you thought it was brand new. Homeless problems, every problem disappeared on the streets because we had Xi Jinping coming in for a meeting with Gavin Newsom and President Joe Biden, right? Right? Remember that? That's what's happening here. This is what happens every election season. The problems that these people created, they're going to try to make it a jabizu. They're going to try to make it go away, make it look clean. And then once, you know, you vote these people in, the problems come right back. And then but this time, that's not even the case. The problems are still here. They're in your face. You see it every day. You know, so yeah. we'll see where this goes, ladies and gentlemen, but it's always good to be informed on what's going on, specifically when we are very close to this election. Very, and I mean very, very, very close to the election. So make sure to smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. We will be talking about Melania Trump and The View. We're going to be talking about more other things. Trump, Ukraine. Trump saying that he's going to go to Ukraine. I don't think that's a good idea at all. I don't think he should be trusting Zelensky at all. But we'll talk about that in just a bit. See you guys on the next one. If you just got here, make sure to go all the way back to the beginning of the video, as always. See you guys.